Hey everybody, this is Steven. I'm actually just doing a video today with my new little toy. It's a tripod. I'm going to be taking it a lot of places. Wanted to make sure that everybody's on page with the notion of schizophrenia and anxiety, the relationship between schizophrenia and anxiety. It's called schizoaffective disorder. All right, so anxiety is a element of schizophrenia. It's more or less a component of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia means basically you hear voices, you have aberrant thought, you hear things within your mind, in your ears, and you see things that aren't normally there. Now, some people actually see things that aren't there, and some people see things that are there, but it's the way that they actually perceive the actual experience themselves. So, with anxiety, it's more or less a partner of schizoaffective disorder. Now, the affective part is what is called bipolar. All right, so schizophrenia and bipolar are blended together to make one big whole, in the mind. And so, with that being said, anxiety is something that is very, very difficult to deal with, especially when you're in the clutches of it, in the throes of it. What happens is your body starts to shut down, or rather, maybe adrenaline gets flooded into your bloodstream, and what happens is that your body reacts to it. So the energy that's in your mind floods into the physical body. Okay, and it causes your hands to shake really, really bad, your feet to shake, your vision is acute, everything looks tunnel vision. Some things are so specific to the mind when you're in schizophrenic um, anxiety attacks, especially when you can see pretty much everything from a distance or up close. One thing I try not to do is put something too close to my eye. I'm blind in my right eye, so I only have one eye in my left eye. But what I try to do is I try not to put things too close to my eye, because for some reason it gets magnified. And what happens is everything comes up really, really, really close, and then all of a sudden the intensity starts to increase. The level starts to reach an incline, then it peaks, and then it lasts anywhere from 5 minutes to 2 or 3 hours. And when you've got one that lasts 3 hours, by far is it difficult. So what I recommend is get a therapist, get some get some medication, do some CBD oil, um, do meditation, walk around the block, go listen to some music, classical music or meditation music, or your favorite song, whatever makes you feel good. You want to make sure that you do take advantage of the resources that you have as a schizophrenic. There are a lot of resources out there, but the problem is there aren't enough resources. Here in Lexington, Kentucky, we have NAMI, which is National Alliance for Mental Illness. We have Participation Station, which I think is, no offense, Tracy Jacobson, but I think that it's kind of cheap and ineffective. So my goal in the next 5 years is to open up a nonprofit organization for schizophrenics, for people with schizophrenia. Okay, the term schizophrenic is a little aggressive and abrasive, but when it comes to the nonprofit organization, I want to be able to help people with schooling, with shelter, with food, with clothing, with education, with information on what they're dealing with, support groups, ways to like occupational therapy, have occupational therapists come and work with people. I feel very, very blessed that I have the ability to articulate what's on my mind. One thing I've always strived for is to learn new words at least every day. And if not, I'm mulling over those words, trying to figure out the actual definition and the actual meaning and connotation of that word. And so the more words you have in your mind and with your sword, which is your tongue, the more you're able to describe what's going on inside your mind as well as within your environment. So what I recommend to all the people that are having anxiety attacks, take it one step at a time. Because if you don't and you try to rush like I do, I tend to, whenever that first domino falls, the rest of the dominoes go super fast. So what I recommend is take your time, breathe, learn breathing exercises. There's a guy on YouTube called Wim Hof who I did some research on his videos, or rather, I watched one of his videos. It's effective to a degree, but there are no certainties and sureties of getting rid of the anxiety attack. You have to just endure it. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to just keep the faith. I want you to just keep hope alive, and not like Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. Anyways, peace, Jesse Jackson. I want you to stay positive. All right. One thing in my mind is the word negativity. The word negative goes across the lens of my eye at least 50 times a day. The thing is, we have to change the way we think. We have to change the way we think. Because your mind is the central hub, the nucleus of everything in your life. Everything flows into the eye. And then everything that is within you goes out into the world through your voice and through your nonverbal communication. I want you to take your time. I want you to live life to the fullest. I mean, today I was at Myers, and I was looking around for, toys. I like toys. Not toys like kid toys, but like, things like electronics. I love electronics. I love accessories. I just recently bought no more than about half an hour ago, I bought a tripod, and I'm actually filming on it right now. My phone is on the tripod, and it's actually working, which is quite amazing. But I was actually in Meijer, and I started to panic. And then I told myself, just be in the moment. Just be in the moment. Okay? So what I did was, I took my time. Instead of rushing, I said, let me examine things. See, my problem is I'm always rushing through life. I've rushed through the last 20 years just like that. And it's flown by just like that. There's no need to rush. Yes, today is Sunday. I missed church. All right? I didn't go because I wanted to spend some quiet me time. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of me time. Sometimes when you have anxiety, you have to take me time. There's been times when I've had to walk out of the office, go walk around the block for 5, 10, 15 minutes just to get the devil off of me. And I see that anxiety is a demon or devil because it's negative, and anything that is negative comes from the devil. So anyways, I was in Myers, and I started looking at the components and the electronics, and I was intrigued about how many different types of things we have here in this technological society we live in, that we can actually add to our collection of items or personal property or personal possessions. And so I bought myself a tripod. So I will be filming these videos all over the place. I'll take them into my living room, or maybe I'll go to the park, whatever. But I want you to stay positive. I want you to be the person that you're meant to be, okay? And don't let anxiety convince you that you're weak and that you are defective and that you are unable to do the things that you want to do in life, okay? I want you to stay positive. Positive energy always corrects errors. Positive energy activates constant elevation. Okay, those are not my words. This is something that I learned over the course of the last 20 years listening to Wu-Tang. All right. So, I want you to take a breath. Breathe. If you don't have oxygen, you can't breathe. If you don't have oxygen in your lungs, you can't function. So, take your time. Stay positive. Love yourself as you would love your neighbor. Love your neighbor as you would love yourself. And remember this, 2 Corinthians 12:10. He takes pleasure. Paul said he takes pleasure in necessities, in infirmities, in persecutions. It's not verbatim. I'm just putting my own words. Takes advantage and takes pleasure in infirmities. Do you know what the word infirmity means? It means a mental or physical weakness. Now, granted, anxiety is mental and physical, so I guess that would be the perfect infirmity, But he takes pleasure in it for Christ's sake. So when I am weak, I am strong. 2 Corinthians 12:10. All right? So stay positive. Have a beautiful day.